Alright, Marvel Rivals players, let's go over the brand new adjustments for Season 5, starting off with the Vanguard. So, Angela is getting some new changes over here, basically just some buffs. So she's going to move faster in her charge state from 16 to 18 meters per second. And then also, the ultimate gains an additional 200 HP. I felt like a lot of people just didn't really pop this thing. But nonetheless, I guess it survives a little bit longer. This is going to make Angela super, super strong. I feel like she's going to be a little bit stronger on certain maps that you can throw people off, because that's really the only area I feel like Angela really exceeds, but that's kind of a welcoming change. Now, this new change to Captain America is kind of like Gambit's ultimate. So Gambit's ultimate allows your allies to get a boost to their ultimate. Now, it's a 30% boost to ultimate energy charge efficiency, not necessarily just giving everyone 30%, because that'd be actually pretty busted. But nonetheless, this is kind of a cool, interesting thing to see if people actually utilize it, especially with some of the newer changes with Loki. Maybe that people would run like Loki, copy Captain America can then boost another Captain America. There's where the game gets a little bit crazy. But just 30% additional ult charge. I feel like the only person that really benefits off of Captain America's ult, like half the time, is literally Captain America. So I'm not sure if this is going to really make him more meta, because he actually got a lot of like nerfs just slowly as the game went on. Now, this new Groot change is actually pretty big. It's going to make him so when he throws his Iron Wall, he has a new effect that he's unstoppable within 50 meters. And I actually saw a bunch of like TikToks with this, and basically everything that would move him, whether that's ultimates or not, basically Groot is unaffected by a lot of things in the game. This is heavily going to be something where Wolverine won't be able to like grab him, which is kind of like the counter to Groot. So Groot is definitely going to see a lot more play with this, especially with some of the other changes with the other heroes, because there's going to be a lot more survivability here, and Groot being able to cut off heals is actually pretty big. Anyways, next up, Hulk. The Gamma Burst new effect, each direct hit reduces indestructible guard by 1 second. And that's actually pretty nice, because obviously being able to sustain is good. That's just kind of like how the change of magic got. So this is just straight up buff to Hulk, which is great. Now, Magneto is actually getting a pretty insane buff over here. He has 2 separate bubbles, which it's crazy. Now, he does have a nerf where instead of blocking 250, it's now 200, but you have 2 separate bubbles. So it's basically Zarya from Overwatch. I have no idea why they decided, oh, Magneto needs some more buffs. This makes him incredibly, incredibly good. Not that he already wasn't pretty much the best tank in the game, but man, he just got a huge buff with this, being able to shield 2 people, because that also means more DPS, because that means he's going to get his right click and be able to do more damage with it more consistently. So that's pretty nice. So, now with Penny Parker, the allies inside of the cyber web get the same healing over time and a movement boost as her. Movement boost for allies is 25% and healing is 15 a second. Excess healing converts to bonus health. So before the start of the fight, you can actually have increased bonus health to all your teammates. Combine this with like Rocket, because Rocket and Penny Parker have a team up anyways, unless it's not being changed. I haven't gotten that far. This is my first time checking these notes out, but that's actually a pretty big deal. I mean, I feel like a lot of maps are just going to really favor Penny, just making things like immortal. It may be something that a lot of people may feel, especially again, you take the Rocket, armor packs and the additional bonus health, and this all adds up. It might seem small to get 25 bonus health, but that's the difference between a 2-shot and a 3-shot in a lot of these scenarios, so that's actually a pretty big deal. And then you also have a free heal over time. Now, I was also thinking maybe if Penny actually gets ult charge off of this, Penny actually might be a pretty good pick going into the next season. We'll have to wait and see. She's actually the highest win rate, the win rate character across the entire game. She still has the highest win ratio. However, I know a lot of people don't really consider her very good at the high ranks of the game, but there are people out there that can make pretty good use out of the character, and it's just straight up buffs, so that's cool. So the thing, he's got a new change over here. So how it works now is they remove the damage reduction from single leap target. It now grants 20% damage reduction to all allies, and it says reduce damage reduction to self from 25 to 20. So basically, he applies his damage reduction to AoE, and he gets 5% less, but he helps the other teammates. So that's actually a pretty good thing, maybe to stop dive, because that's like free damage reduction that he can instantly turn around and try to help his teammates, right? And then also they remove the damage reduction from the self, and it now applies a 20% vulnerability to all enemies within his landing point. So what that means is you can maybe get more damage with him and give your whole team some damage reduction, because he really wasn't seeing that much play at the higher ranks with good win-loss ratios. So that's kind of nice. And then also they reduce the damage from 90 to 55 on the Haymaker, and they also remove 50 bonus health gain during ability activation. And the new effects is deal bonus damage to 8% of the enemy's max health per hit. So it's going to make him better against tanks. So that's going to be kind of cool. But nonetheless, as far as the thing goes, I think that 20% vulnerability will be kind of nice. That's basically Cloak and Daggers. Now, I don't know if you can do Cloak and Dagger and his ability and kind of stack things, and you start stacking like Gambit's anti. Maybe you can kind of burst down tanks. We'll wait and see how it goes, because I've heard a lot of people complain about, like, the triple support lineup. And with Gambit, I think a lot of people will try to play triple support. That's just going to be the reality of the game. And then as far as it goes, Duelist, Hawkeye. So we increase the focus over here with the bonus damage from 75 to 90. So that's going to be, wait, is that just his regular attack? Archer's focus? Okay, so if this is a buff to him, and he can even do even more damage to tanks or more consistently one-shot people, because everything is getting a little bit more buffs in the survivability department, maybe he's going to be a little bit better. As long as you can still one-shot with him, I mean, that's the most important thing. Mr. Fantastic, let's see. Reflective rubber cannot be used during inflated state after reaching 100 elasticity. They remove the 350 bonus health on entering inflated state. Now you get 350 maximum health and a one-time heal of 350, which is removed upon exiting the inflated state. Okay. And then Phoenix, they adjusted Cosmic Flame's maximum fall off at 30 meters from 60 to 75. Spider-Man buffs. I heard a lot of people getting excited about this. Let's see. So Peter Parker's web slinging offensive gets a slight lift. Reduced web cluster energize time. So I guess that's his, like, it's the cluster. So that's the one where he's right-clicking, right? And then they also increase the amazing combo damage. So this is ultimate. I guess this is like on ticks. So I mean, it's a small buff overall, but or is that like maybe one of the slams or something? I think that they said he's supposed to be more consistent. Assuming that this and this is like in his like base thing. I don't know. I don't think this is the ultimate, right? Unless it just ticks for 60, 60, 60. I don't know. But basically, any small amount of damage can lead to more consistency, but they are also buffing the survivability of some of the other support here, so we'll talk about it. So they're increasing the burst acorn damage by 10%. So that's actually pretty interesting. If you guys didn't know, she actually has one of the lowest win rates as far as the duelist goes at the higher ranks of the game. But I actually don't think Squirrel Girl is like that bad, but you guys let me know how do you feel about that. Storm, now when she uses her weather control and the goddess boost, you're just getting an increase of 2% here, and then an extra 3% here, which in total, before you had 22%, and now you have 27%. And so there might be some sort of combos with Storm that enabled like 2 shots or something like that. Either way, I don't know if this is going to make Storm super, super good. I think the issue that Storm really has in the game is that like the other DPS are just simply much more potent, and they have a lot more survivability just in general. When you look at like Bucky or Hela, she just doesn't have like an escape. Maybe if you used like her speed boost, she can like, do a quick dash, something to maybe encourage the character to have a little bit more mobility. It depends on your rank, obviously, but I really feel like that's the issue that they need to look at with Storm, is maybe just giving her just one mobility option, you know? Anyways, Punisher. They're increasing Punishers. He wasn't even bad. Okay, that's a surprise. Adjusted the maximum fall from 40 meters from 7 to 85. So basically, you give him more HP and more damage on range. Increased pellets fired per deliverance. Is that the ultimate? Or is that, I don't know if that's, is that the shotgun? Because it's saying pellets here. So that means, I don't know why they're buffing Punisher. Now, to be fair, he actually has a pretty low win rate. So I don't know if they're balancing this game around win rate, because if they're doing win rate, Penny doesn't need any buffs. If they're doing win rate, then Punisher's buffs would make actually sense. I don't know, man. Anyways, next up, Wolverine. So what are they doing with Wolverine? Because he's a really hard character to balance. So it increases Savage Claw's % damage from each point of rage. So it's increasing a little bit here. It increases Vicious Rampage % damage for each point of rage. And then also reduce Feral Leap cooldown from 15 to 12. Okay. But he's always just played around this. I don't know. He's kind of a hard character to fix. I mean, it is a pretty nice buff to see double buffs over here. So that's, it may sound like really small, but when you consider like they're getting double buffs and then also this, he could be a little bit better. But I feel like that character is usually Feast or Famine. He's usually just like ban the Wolverine, or the Wolverine's like 2 and 10. He's not swapping, man. So I don't know. Anyways, strategist Adam Warlock over here. Increase soul flight speed. Oh, whatever. I don't think that matters. Reduce karmic, the ultimate cost. Dude, I think this character is still basically turbo throw unless you're playing triple. Cloak and dagger. For no reason, cloak and dagger gets buffed. That's very interesting. So I know about this. So the orb projection hit damage got increased, which gets more damage and projectile maximum range and projectile speed. So like all around just buffs. And like she needed buffs because even compared to like Luna or Cloak ults, it just lasts a little bit like less. They increase the physics, force physics, I guess the push or something like that. But the main thing that Inviswoman gets that's so good is she can now shield herself. This is actually massive. This is actually one of the biggest updates, I think, for the character, is being able to just shield yourself. It sounds like it's a small thing, but that makes the character incredibly good. Loki's also getting increases to his survivability. They adjusted the fall off damage over here. I really feel like people just don't play Loki anymore. I've hardly seen this character in the game. And now, new effect now directly hit allies for an extra 10 health. And it's like it's small, but hey, I mean, buffs are buffs, right? But I don't know if that's going to make Loki much better, because like we have characters like Rocket and then also Jet that have like really, really strong ultimates on their own. Like Loki's ult isn't bad, but like comparing how fast he used to charge it up, because you get the way more damage to the clones, right? But let me know if you guys think Loki's going to see more play. Anyways, Rocket, reduced BRB cooldown, so that's good. Increased repair mode maximum count, okay. And then also increased projectile speed, so these are just double buffs. Increased bombardment mode projectile speed from 150 to 180. So just straight up triple Rocket buffs. Rocket, again, if we're going via win rate, Rocket, again, has one of the higher win rates in the game. So that's kind of a surprise. I just want to go ahead and cover, there's going to be new team-up abilities, but I kind of want to see gameplay of these, and I want to just cover all of the patch notes over here as far as the changes. Let me know, guys, what you think. Is this a W or is it an L for the patch notes? Overall, I want to say it's interesting that we're seeing a lot more survivability here, but it could be due to, of course, Gambit coming in the game. As you guys know, Gambit does also play anti, and I want to say he's a very fun character, and I think he's pretty solid, at least as of right now. Like, I already showed you guys gameplay of it in the beginning, and on the early servers while testing, his ultimate does way too much, and I think he's going to be played in every single game unless he gets banned. But anyways, I think the patch overall, I want to try out most of these. Like, I'm going to definitely try out Penny. I'll let you guys know how it works, because like I think this has a lot of potential. Even though Penny doesn't really see that much play, she still has a very high win rate, and this is just going to make on defense maps just kind of a nightmare to actually burst through targets. But if you could also get your ultimate like pretty consistently fast, I think Penny might be one of the biggest like winners out of all of these in terms of like these patches. But like it's weird that we're even seeing buffs to like Rocket, Raccoon, and even Punisher getting buffs was a very big surprise. But let me know, guys, what you think of these patch notes. I'm just really excited that we got a brand new support in this season. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, sub, and I'll catch you gamers in the next video. But season 5 is looking to be pretty cool with the new hero, but with the patch notes, I mean, there's not that many people playing Penny, but interesting choices.